Hello, my loves, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Mariya. Please subscribe below so we can be YouTube buddies. This video is on etheric wings and the etheric body. And this is a follow-on video to my awakening story video. First and foremost, thank you all so much for all of your lovely comments. It is really nice to know that we're on this journey together, that you have been experiencing similar things to me. So really love that. But in terms of the etheric wings, I have gotten a lot of requests to do a video about etheric wings, and here I am. There's not a lot of info out there on the etheric wings, yet if you are on your awakening journey, chances are that you are going to go through an experience of having your etheric wings open up. And this is it's an interesting journey. So hopefully this will help you. If you already have had your etheric wings open, do let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your story. I would love to learn what yours look like and how many you have for that matter. Yeah. All right. So let's maybe take a step back from the etheric wings and just understand what is going on as you're awakening energetically. Obviously, when you are born, all of your many light bodies are born with you, right? You have your physical, and then you have multiple layers of the light bodies. Although, depending on who you talk to in the spirit realm, they may tell you, and they may actually give you a different number of light bodies. From 3 light bodies to 5 light bodies to 7 light bodies to 7 light bodies to infinite. There's also perspective that there's just one body. That's it, right? And our one body consists of our physical and all of the many layers of the energy bodies that we have. Whatever is the truth of the universe is probably not up to us to figure out. The answer is probably all of the above are true to some degree. But what I know to be true is this. When you first come into your body, obviously your most developed body is your physical. And then your etheric body or your energy body is almost like a thin layer above your physical body. And over time, that energy body of yours, it grows, B, it starts to take shape that is unique to you. So when you first come into a body, into an incarnation, pretty much everybody's etheric bodies are the same. In the same way that when you are first conceived, it's just, 2 cells essentially that come together, and there's not a lot of complexity there. And then as you grow, as you turn into a fetus, then a full-blown baby, then essentially adolescent, adult, all of that. You grow up. And through the experiences that you go through, what ends up happening is you develop a personality, you develop a set of trauma, essentially become more complex. So the same is true about your etheric or energy body. Your energy body develops through the different experiences that you have in life. One of the more fundamentally profound, shall I say, spiritual experiences that you could have is a spiritual awakening. And so the first thing that will impact is your energy body. When you go on this awakening journey, your energy body is going to grow. It's going to expand. It's going to eventually take more and more space on the map. It will grow different aspects of itself differently. We first start to develop our energy body as a general rule. Now, there are exceptions to every rule, so bear with me. We usually start to develop our energy body through the vertical axis of our body where our chakras are. So, however you start, that is usually the first thing that gets developed, or one of the first things. Then the more you are, the more you step into who you are, the more you remember who you are, all of the minor chakras start to develop as well. And so very often the second major thing that develops is the horizontal axis of your body, so that you start representing an energetic cross, the vertical axis of your chakras and the horizontal axis that goes literally through the higher heart, right? So once your higher heart opens up, usually you have the horizontal axis of your energy body open up. Now, that's not it. As you keep meditating, as you do the work, as you dive into your shadow and all of the above, more things start happening to your energy body. And over time, your energy body can become pretty sophisticated. Now, one of the first things usually post-awakening, now there are exceptions to every rule, and what is awakening in the first place? There's not one definition of what awakening is. So take it, as you will. one of the first things that I find that opens up in people is a set of etheric wings or multiple sets of etheric wings. Now, does every human on earth have a set of etheric wings? No, but enough people do that it is actually a very, very common experience when you're waking up. And so you may be led towards that experience, or it may happen, quote unquote, organically for you because you're being guided through this. Our life is a guided experience. So there are always a number of spirit guides that are overseeing what is going on with you at any point in time. When my etheric wings came out first, I think it must have been maybe 6 months into my awakening, give or take. I just remember first it came through as a physical symptom of my shoulder blades just started aching really, really bad out of nowhere. And I did not know what was going on. And then I think a week later, I started having back pains and pretty dramatic back pains. And I don't usually have back pains. So for me, it was a little bit strange, not going to lie. And as I was trying to understand what was going on, in my third eye, I saw that, oh, wow, okay, now I have a set of etheric wings in my back and they're pretty heavy. And usually like when they first open up, your body's not used to this new, it's like growing a limb or like, I don't know, developing an appendage that you haven't had yet in this life. And so your body needs to adjust to a set of wings that you have. And so because of that, you may experience a lot of physical symptoms around like feeling like your back hurts because there's weight, like literally So imagine you had a pair of physical wings, like angel wings in your back, and they were really, really heavy because usually they're like, 2 meters long. So they're quite massive and they're quite heavy. And imagine that none of the muscles around those wings that are supposed to support the weight of those wings have ever been trained because you've never had that part of your body active before. What's going to happen is your body is going to need to adjust and certain muscles are going to have to become stronger. And so I remember it was probably a period of 3 weeks that it took for my body to adjust to my first set of wings. And that was pretty dramatic. A couple more things on the wings. There is a lot of resistance very often with people with beautiful souls that are going through awakening around opening up the wings. There are many reasons for that, but a lot of us have this deep set fear of being seen spiritually, being seen for who we are, being seen in our weirdness, if you will. And we're, to some degree, and especially if you've lived a lot of lives where you've been persecuted or you've been a witch and you've been burned at the stake or somehow ostracized for your gifts, you know exactly how it feels. A lot of us are in hiding. And what I find to be more common than not is for a lot of people, their wings are going to be ready to come out, but artificially you would be holding them back. And when I look at, if I were doing work on you, if I would look at your back, I would see it's almost like your back would almost like it would feel like it's bleeding a little bit because if you're not letting your wings out, so if you're holding them in, but the wings are ready to come out, it's like trying to prevent birth from happening when the baby is, due to be birthed. It's like the baby's going to come out one way or another. Like the wings are going to come out one way or another. Now you may resist it and it's going to become harder, or you may help it and it's going to become easier. But I do find that a lot of people that are in hiding would artificially prevent their wings from coming out and would actually delay the process. Now, why do we need those wings in the first place? Think of it as, like another aspect of your body that you really, really need that you didn't know that you needed. Kind of like a third eye. You don't think that you need a third eye, but once you actually start activating it and getting all of the information that you can through your third eye, then you're wondering, okay, like, how did I ever live without it? Like the wings are somewhat similar. So, essentially they are an etheric or energy extension to your body. Again, not everybody has them, but for the people that do, this part of your body is integral to your soul's development and to your mission potentially on this planet. Etheric wings can help you with many things. First, they can help you absorb the energy from the cosmos, absorb the energy from the universe, and not just any kind of energy. So not, your wings are not like everybody else's wings. We all have our own unique set or sets, our own unique type of wings. And depending on what kind of wings we have, they would be absorbing a particular type of frequency from the universe, like energetic frequency from the universe, that would fuel all of us. So very often, right, when you're doing energy work, a lot of the healing that happens, it comes through a crown center, or it would come through the root center, or the chakras and the soles of your feet, because, essentially you're either absorbing the energy with your crown or you're absorbing the energy with your root, right? That is the entry point. Those are not the only entry points. There are entry points, and then there are chakras, if you will, within your etheric wings as well, because they are an extension of your body. There are, and in fact, they're considered major chakras. They're not minor chakras. It's just that, not everybody has etheric wings, right? But if you do, you would notice that once your etheric wings open up, it's easier for you to receive information from spirit guides. It's easier for you to communicate with source. It's easier for you to communicate with your higher self. It's easier for you to dissect and understand information that is coming through. So it's almost like there is also a translation device that's right then and there. It also, if you're claircognizant, it would enable you to download information from the universe faster. So it does help with processing speeds. Your etheric wings could be massive protective tools. A lot of black wings that I've seen are protective. A lot of wings are going to have a color to them. So not all wings are transparent. Not all wings are white. Based on their color, usually they are geared towards, like, I'll give you an example. If your wings are pink, very often they're absorbing the energies of the pink spectrum from the universe. Same thing if your wings are blue, they would be absorbing the blue energy spectrum. There is a reason why you were born with a certain set of wings. It's because you probably need them for your mission, right? So if you were born with a blue set of wings, you need the energy of the color blue in order to be fully on the path for whatever reason. Now, going back to kind of like my experiences. So my first set of wings came out, like I said, about 6 months into my awakening. And I thought that was going to be it. Now, little did I know, I'm not sure, are these angel wings? They kind of looked like angel wings. I'm not sure why I need them for. Later, I realized that, okay, now I have more of, A, there's more of me that has arrived on this plane. B, there is more of me that is in the game. And that means that I don't have to rely on my physical body and on the chakras in my, on the vertical axis of my body for energetic sustenance, right? So if there are more, shall we say, roots that lead to your body, if there are more different places that energy can enter your field, you just become your life just becomes better. You can accumulate faster. You don't get energetically depleted. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Now, I will tell you that my wings are still coming out, meaning, okay, and that's where we need to go into probably more of a personal side of it. But you guys really like the awakening story video, so I might as well just give you the full download. I had 3 other sets of wings open up in my first year post-awakening. And they were all very similar, white, feathery, kind of like a very traditional set of wings, right? At the time, I didn't quite know what to do with them, but I will tell you, this is what changed. In my dreamscape, I remember, in my dreamscape, when I was a little kid, I would see, anytime I would see a bad dream or a nightmare, or a creature that I didn't want to meet with, I would always try to fly away. And I couldn't because I didn't really have the wings. And so I would lift up from the ground, maybe just a couple of feet up, and then I would just be dropped back into the ground. When my etheric wings came out, my dreamscape has transformed. I'm able to fly, and do all kinds of interesting things, right? I've never really I don't experience falling anymore, but I experience a lot of flying, and specifically with wings. So now, does it mean that, you have to wait? Some people actually are born with their etheric wings already. It's just most people aren't, right? So just wanted to make that distinction. Now, because remember how in the first video about awakening, I told you that there's really there's no such thing as truly done. There's always something new for you to uncover. There is always another stage of your awakening journey. So I thought that when my wings came out, I thought that was going to be it. And then I started developing weird symptoms in my back, where it would feel like my entire back would it felt like I was going anemic a little bit. Like sometimes when you're anemic in the fingers, you stop feeling the fingers, or it's like when I don't know, sometimes when you look like you can't feel your leg because it goes to sleep, like when there's no enough circulation. Like that was the sensation that I started developing between my shoulder blades. And it would essentially it would come, and then I'm like, okay, I cannot feel half of my back, like literally it gets pretty bad. Still does, by the way. And then actually it feels like that circle, like in between my shoulder blades, like if we were imagine a circle, that just goes numb. And it can go numb for anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour. And at first, when that started happening, I actually, the first thing that came into my mind was, okay, is there something wrong with my diet? Meaning, am I not getting a nutrient? Am I not getting a particular, I don't know, is it iron? Am I iron deficient? Like, what's happening? So I tried changing things up on that side and just getting like different supplements. That did not take care of the problem. What took care of the problem was actually me realizing that there was more of me, etherically, that wanted to come out and see the light of day. Now, of course, I was the one in resistance, right? And because again, going back to the fact of like anytime we open up, anytime we allow more of our energy to come into this plane of existence and almost unfold, we become more seen. We shine brighter, if you will. And again, to those of us who have been persecuted in past lives, and God knows I have certainly been persecuted many times for my words, for my gifts, for being a priestess, for being a witch, you name it. I've done it, burned, maimed, quartered, beheaded. All of these things happen to me, right? And again, I'm not all that unique. Like, I know enough of you guys watching this happened to you too. So this is, by no stretch of imagination, very, shall we say, peculiar, especially for those of us that are awakening. But I certainly did not expect more things to start coming out of my back. So I had some resistance to work through. I had a friend actually help me. And then what ended up happening is once I released that resistance of, being seen, more things started showing up in my etheric body. And so it actually feels like a lot of as weird as it sounds, that has been my experience. Now, I'm not claiming this is the only way that your etheric body can come to life, but a lot of my etheric body actually starts unfolding from my back. So it feels like an energetic birth, like things just get, I don't know, evacuated or excavated out of my back. So just a few weeks back, I was in Glastonbury actually with a few of my friends, and I was getting massive activations, and I was connecting to the crystal grid of the planet. And I love Glastonbury. I love Thor. Like, it always is activating for me. I have a lot of past life connections to England in particular. And so that place just fuels me so much. And what I noticed was all of these things started coming out of my back. And so I got a pink set of wings on top of my white wings. I got a black set of wings. I got a transparent set of wings. I got an iridescent set of wings. And those were all, just like, essentially I got stacks of them back to back. And then I got one super weird construction of feathers and wings. And essentially it looked like, I think, 27 different wings, but they look like, essentially the configuration is a circle. So they're circular. So it's like 27 wings in a circular formation. Pretty weird. And when I was trying to understand how to work with it, essentially it spins like a propeller and that's how it moves. And it's interesting because there is like a particular configuration, like my innermost wings are white, and then there's pink, and then there's transparent, and then there's black are protective ones. And then these propeller ones are the outermost ones, and more stuff still comes out. And so it is coming out like almost like every day. Like I get other aspects of my etheric body opening up, which is pretty crazy. And, Again, and that goes back to that conversation again of there's not a lot of information on etheric wings and what's happening with our etheric bodies as we awaken. What I have found to be is this. When I started looking at my etheric body and what has opened up, I realized that quite a number of things live in that space that we call the etheric body. All of our totem animals live there. Totem animals and spirit animals, by the way, right? And they're very front and center. If you want to look up your, what's in your etheric body, that could be quite interesting. You would just imagine, yourself, kind of like a light version of you standing in front of you. And you would remove all the layers and just leave the etheric layer, and you can walk in and walk around and see what's there. So all of my totem animals were there. My main elements, like fire, air, those types of elements. My main elements were right there. All of the things, like objects that I got through meditations, how sometimes in meditation, your guides give you, I don't know, a sword, a book, something else. All of those objects were neatly tucked away and preserved in my etheric body. So when you're doing meditations, know that things just don't go randomly to waste. If you receive something in a meditation and you just stored it in your pocket, most likely they're ending up in your etheric body. Now, we've talked about wings, but wings are not the only thing that you could want to be birthed as part of your energy body. You could grow a tail. You could grow like a mermaid's tail or like a cat's tail, right? You could grow other things. There's like there are no rules to what could open up. But what I do know is that it's never random. The things that open up are not random. Usually they either signify a particular skill set that your higher self wanted you to have, or something that you wanted, that you're borrowing from your past lives. So there is a lot also in your etheric body. Usually you would be, as you're like walking around your etheric body, you would notice that it has multiple compartments. It may have multiple outfits for you. It may have multiple objects of power. So all of these things are kind of descending upon you post your awakening so that you can take more and more and more space so that you can be more and more effective during your mission. So all of those things are really, really important, and you don't ever know when they're going to come in handy. I've also found that, when you're doing past life regressions, sometimes you do past life regressions to do healing. Sometimes you do past life regressions for curiosity. And sometimes you do past life regressions because you want to borrow a particular skill set. So when you do a past life regression with the purpose of borrowing a particular skill set, usually there would be an object or a symbol that symbolizes that skill set. And that would descend, like if you're claiming it, it would descend into your etheric body, and you're going to be able to absorb it. And, and essentially, as you start absorbing and integrating it, that is where certain things, like whatever that skill set is, right, it would be easier for you to develop it in this life, right? But it starts in your etheric body, almost like an anchor. Yeah, like what haven't I found in my etheric body? Like I feel like there's like literally a town there, like and a half, like a town square and all of these things. But working with your etheric wings could be a beautiful, beautiful practice, again, because every set of wings that you do have is very unique, and you have it for a reason. So the first thing that I would do, if you already have a set of wings, is get into meditation and talk to them. Ask them, what is their purpose? How long have you had them for? What, are they meant to help you accomplish in this life? How are they interacting with the rest of your gifts, shall we say, right? And how can you best leverage their special abilities? Because every set of wings and every aspect, frankly, of our energy body has a particular way of working that is optimal. And we would never find out until and unless we ask the questions. And also, they all have different purposes too, right? Like I said, some wings are here to really protect you. But do they protect you right away, or do you need to do something? That all of those questions can be answered if you meditate on your wings or with your wings, or to communicate as you're communicating with your wings. So this is something that I've found really, really helpful. Sometimes if you have more than one pair, they interact with each other a certain way. And that is also something that you can find out during meditation. So that is kind of like a really, really quick deep dive. But remember, if your wings are opening up, it is always a great sign. That means that your body is ready to absorb more information from the universe, more energy from the cosmos. And that means that, frankly, you're stepping up and you're ready for the next lap of your spiritual journey. You're never done, right? So if one set of wing opened up, there may be more. Now, how do you remove resistance? I found that understanding what your blocker is, and again, usually it is some sort of fear of being seen, right? So working with your fear of being seen, understanding that in this particular life, we did not come to be persecuted in this particular life. We came to live authentically, live in our truth, and the patterns, the paradigm is really, really shifting. We are, the change. We are completely redrawing, recalibrating that game, right? So like the pain and suffering is a bygone concept as it comes to coming out of the spiritual closet. So that's that. Like work with your resistance, right? And I found also what helps is imagine like there's like a golden sponge, like a sponge made of gold, right? And you can place it in the back, right? Like between your shoulder blades. And imagine like just literally placing that, inserting that into your body. And imagine that sponge is filled with golden liquid. And that golden liquid starts sipping into your skin and starts spreading around and kind of just going anywhere and everywhere it needs to go, removing the blockages and removing the fears, because there is usually a fear if your wings don't want to come out. It's like they're hiding, right? Because they don't want to harm you. But the good news and the truth is they cannot harm you. They can only make your life so much richer, your experience of being in your body so much more fulfilling, because, more is always more, right? In this particular case, the more things that you open up for your etheric body, the more beautiful your spiritual journey is going to become. And certain things just become easier. And by the way, etheric wings may be a precursor for you to develop certain special abilities. Some wings are healing, for instance. Like some wings, especially like light blue wings, for instance, and some emerald wings, could when they open up, they can really help you heal others, because it's almost like they are energy highways, and they would start helping you to accumulate the energy that you need to help and heal people. And then those wings, because they are a part of your body, right? They would be sending energy into your main vessel, like into your main pillar, the vertical pillar, and then into your hands. And so in other words, the energy doesn't just go one way. You may be able to feed your body through your wings, right? Because they are receptacles of energy, and you may become a much more potent healer, hypnotist, whatever you are. Please let me know in the comments what your experiences have been with etheric wings. And I'm sending you a big virtual hug. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, loves.